Hello, this is Tom Still from the Wisconsin Technology Council, and thank you for joining us on today's edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced in conjunction with the Tech Council and WisBusiness.com, and with the help of our sponsors, BDO, UWM, and Exact Sciences. And before we hear from today's guest, Jason Fields, I'd like to tell you about some upcoming events. On August 22nd, we'll have the USONA Institute talking about their fight against depression through some of their unique drug development strategies. On September 22nd, Spencer X. Smith, who is known around the country for his work on social media, will talk about the use of social media in the COVID-19 age. November 10th and 11th is this year's date for the Wisconsin Early Stage Symposium. Please watch for news about how your company can present. And learn more about all these events and many others that will be scheduled at our website, wisconsintechnologycouncil.com. And now we'll hear from Jason Fields. Welcome to WisBusiness, the show. I'm Tom Still from the Wisconsin Technology Council and thrilled to have you with us today. Our guest today is Jason Fields, who's worn a lot of hats already in his still growing career. Jason's a member of the Wisconsin Assembly, where he represents a district in his hometown of Milwaukee. And during his time in the Assembly, he's been a leader on a variety of issues, including many that are important to the state's tech and entrepreneurial communities. Jason's the CEO of an investment firm. We'll talk more about that in a minute. He's a certified financial education instructor, a former stockbroker, investment banker, and business owner, and someone we're just flat out proud to welcome to the show. So hello, Jason, and thank you for being with us.
Hey, Tom, thank you. Thank you, the Wisconsin Technology Council. As I said before, I'm a huge fan. Love any chance, the opportunity I get to be with you guys, I'm going to take, man.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this. Well, you chose not to run again because you got a lot of other things in the fire. And by the time you step down in January, you will have represented the 11th Assembly District 12 years, kind of off and on.
Yep.
And what do you see as some of your lasting accomplishments? And had you chosen to stay, what would you have gotten? What else would you like to have gotten done if you'd stayed?
Yeah, I think one, it's some of the lasting things is the groups, the coalitions, working with you guys. From a legislative point of view, financial literacy, huge advocate. And so when that passed and was signed into law to make financial literacy a mandate for individuals to learn in school systems, 5G technology, being one of the lead Democrat author on that bill, making it possible for Wisconsin to come into the pipeline and compete from a 5G standpoint. The venture capital bills that you guys have helped ran point on, and from looking at the under-targeted and unrepresented groups who you guys have helped with those kinds of policies. So when you and I testified at, I think we did 2 committees, the Senate and the Assembly, those to me are life-changing legislation policy items that I believe, I'm proud that I was a part of it.
Good, excellent. Well, let's talk a little bit about Dark Knight. Dark Knight Capital, your investment firm, spelled like a knight of old, the olden times, right?
Yeah.
And it's focused on investing in innovative young companies. That's where you see this going. Tell us more about your business model and how those young companies should prepare to speak with Dark Knight if they're trying to get an investment.
Yeah, what we really look for is what I call those diamonds in the rough. And so I have a particular, employer, entrepreneur, or founder that I'm looking for. Are you part of the underrepresented or undercapitalized group? Women, people of color, service disabled veterans, members of the LGBT community. So my focus is on founders. And one, are you in that under-targeted group? It's not excluding others. In fact, I invested in other individuals as well, but it's who are these diamonds in the rough that have the potential to be the next unicorn, or who have the potential to contribute to Wisconsin, to humanity at a level. And so I really focus on the founder, the entrepreneur. Then I look to see what kind of qualities does that individual have. Can you work well with others? You know, do you want to learn? Do you feel like at any point in time, if you are not the best person to lead your group, your passion is, I want to see it done versus getting credit for it. And so I really look for people who have a passion of trying to make a difference, who have a nice idea, a great idea, but really want to do the work and will do whatever it takes to see it successful. And so when people come to me, I really look at them. Because I believe you can teach a lot of technical things, but the employee, the CEO, that's going to be where the culture comes. And if you have a individual who is not strong emotionally, spiritually, you'll run into problems. And so for me, that's the basis of where it starts. Then we begin to look at, okay, what is the idea? Is it sustainable? Is it cutting edge? Is it innovative enough to keep pace with the global economy? And so those are the things that I look for when I'm looking at people to invest in.
Very good. So start with the people first, and then build from there. Because
that's right.
Yeah. Well, very good. Well, this leads to another question I have. Along with Corey Nettles from Generation Capital and a former Wisconsin Department of Commerce secretary, you spoke recently to the Tech Council Board of Directors.
Yeah.
And it was a great meeting, and it was about the need for more emerging and diverse fund managers in Wisconsin. Now, obviously, you represent that, but how's it going otherwise? What are some next steps that you see?
I think we've been doing those, and I mean, I want to give you guys a shout out because you've been helpful to this. When we put together the emerging group of individuals, and we had legislators from all over Wisconsin, others in the tech ecosystem come to Milwaukee and really learn who's who and make those connections. I think it's going great. I mean, there are a lot of ups. There's a lot of momentum going from the relationships to people saying, hey, we didn't know we had other individuals, a Nadia Johnson, a Dana Guthrie. Nadia is launching a $50 million fund. Dana is considering working with Ken Johnson and doing a fund in the Badger Fund of Funds program. And so the momentum is going. I mean, of course, you have Corey Nettles, who's the private equity gentleman here. And then you have Will Martin, who launched the only, I believe, Opportunity Zone Fund. Will, African-American, is working with the mayor in Racine, Corey, down in Racine, and he's looking at low-income housing, real estate projects. And so the momentum is going. You guys have been great. The governor's office has been great. I spoke with Governor Evers about it, the state treasurer. So we're building the coalition, which I think is the first step. You know, everyone is starting to say, hey, this is important. And from a business point of view, Tom, not that it's not only the right thing to do, but it's good for business, right? It is good for the Wisconsin economy when we have individuals in Milwaukee who can duplicate some of the efforts that we see Madison doing, where we're getting involved with small entrepreneurs, getting them access to capital. And from there, and this is what I stress the most, it's not always about the money, Tom. For me, it is, if I have children in, let's say, our education system, who can see a Corey Nettles or a Nadia Johnson, a Dana Guthrie, a Q and Khalif El-Amin, who can see them as CEOs giving back to their community, then that's a pathway for them to say, I want to do the same thing. And this is a means to do that. I want to be an entrepreneur who can hire people from my community. I want to be an entrepreneur who can philanthropically give dollars to programs in our community. And so I think everybody, again, with you guys' help, a lot of more people are starting to see this is not just the right thing to do, but this is good for business. Yeah. And so the momentum is going. I love it. We're going to keep working on it. but I'm having a ball, man. I really am.
Yeah, well, that's great. And you're right. Almost first and foremost, it's good for business. And you get right down to it. I mean, and for it to work, it has to be. So
Yeah.
congratulations on all your efforts so far. And I know you can count on us working together,
Thank you.
in all of your new roles as you roll those out. And so thank you for joining us today, Jason.
Hey, Tom, let me close on this. One of the questions was, what would you continue to work on? And I think it's vitally important that I say this. When I look at my exodus here, from a policy point of view, those are great. But here's what I think I still feel it's undone. Changing the culture and the mindset of other elected officials. And I say that because more elected officials, particularly on my side of the aisle, need to have a relationship with the Wisconsin Technology Council, right? Mm-hmm. They need to, almost like in any other arena where you see there's continuing education, mm-hmm. That needs to be done, because you guys offer a plethora of issues from AI to blockchain to COVID-19 that I think would improve or enhance the way we view coming to solutions. And I say that because when I looked at some of the bills that we've all worked together on, right, we've had individuals vote no on the venture bill that you and I tested on, mm-hmm. that we testified on, the 5G, getting no votes on those, getting no votes on the porch pirate bill. Mm-hmm. To me, changing the culture to propel leaders to say, here's a group that is really looking forward to moving Wisconsin in the future, and we need to be a part of that. That's the one thing I think, if I had to say I wish I had more influence on, that would have been it. But we've done great work, and it's a long-lasting relationship. You guys are stuck with me now, man. And so but if I had to change anything, that would be it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And I think the worst people to be stuck with. So really appreciate it, Jason. And thank you for your closing thoughts on that, because, that's what we aim to do. We aim to involve more people as we are moving ahead. So appreciate it. And we'll be seeing a lot more of you. Yeah. So again, Tom Still, and thanks for Jason Fields for being part of this portion of WisBusiness, the show.
Thank you.
Thanks again to our guest, Jason Fields. Our next segment is Tech Metrics, which is a long-standing feature of WisBusiness, the show, and through which we try to provide information on issues that can affect the tech sectors in Wisconsin. Today, we'll focus a little bit on the Wisconsin portfolio, which we published in late June. This is our annual look at investment activity in Wisconsin. In the 2019 calendar year, there were $454 million worth of investments in 123 deals. The largest deals were Shine, Northstar, Redox, and Facetto. And during that calendar year, 43% of the companies raised at least $1 million. That's an upward trend. 39% of the deals had at least one out-of-state investor, which shows that people are finding Wisconsin. And 22% of the deals involved women-led or founded firms. Learn more by going to our website. Thanks again to our sponsors, BDO, UWM, and Exact Sciences. We'll see you next time.